Hey, what's going on? It's your man Terrance J, host of Radio Therapy with Terrance J. I'm here in the studio live with my man Edward Douglas on Behind Your Mic on Dads and Fathers Television Network. Now, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm usually the one doing the interviews, but Edward's going to interview me today. So I want y'all to sit back, relax, kind of find out what I'm going to talk about. Who knows? I've been called everything, so if you call me a name today, I don't know if it'll too much matter because you have to listen to my radio show each and every Friday night to find out what I really say. I played a little good today because Edward's my friend. I don't want him to catch the brunt of my bad behavior. See you later.
Have you ever had a question related to child support, divorce, CPS? Call the Attorney General or maybe an attorney and they just gave you a runaround? Where do you go to get help? Contact Dads, Fathers of Texas. Yes, they are child support specialists. Dads, Fathers of Texas can answer your question, help file paperwork, and help find a family law attorney. Dads, Fathers of Texas, making child support simple.
Hi, this is your boy, comedian Edward Douglas. We're live right here, behind your mic. I'm your host with my guest, my friend, 75232 zip code homeboy, Terrance J from Radio Therapy. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, you know what? See, I hate to start this off this way. But see, you just said 75232.
Yeah.
We all know that's Carter's zip code.
Yeah.
I'm a people night. I'm 75233.
Well,
let's start this.
Two and three sound the same anyway. So how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. You know, usually before I start my show, go any further, I want to take the time out to thank God for a breath to breathe, mind to think, strength of my eyes to see, voice to speak, the sound in my ears to hear, and the blood of Jesus. You heard me? Hallelujah to the Lamb. Now I got that out the way.
Uh-oh.
First, I want to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to be on your show a couple of years ago. Darcel, one of my homeboys, introduced me to you. We had a show together. I came on your show, and I was very surprised to let me hang out with you guys, you and Lady Z, your co-host, for an hour. And I couldn't help it, man, but give it back to you. And we both met. Also, Lady Z supported you, and you guys really are responsible for me to be one actor.
Man, I come on to a comedian show, man, and you about to bring out the Overture box, man. What's going on?
Hey, you know, somebody got to laugh, somebody got to cry. You're going to be doing the crying.
Oh, man.
But no, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know that. We talk, we communicate, and you know, I'm so proud of you and Lady Z. You have been to Vegas. You have been to New Orleans. And I ain't just saying just New Orleans. Tell them what was going on in New Orleans. Why you in New Orleans?
Man, you know, got a chance to do the Essence Awards. Essence Music Festival.
Did you hear what he said?
Done Radio Raw there the last couple of years. Got a chance to interview all types of people, man. Oscar winners, Grammy winners. You know, it's amazing to be out in that atmosphere and really for what Essence stands for. And so just to see the whole overall experience when you see all these women converging to New Orleans. You know, we get a lot of bad stereotypes of black women, but when you see all these women converging to New Orleans with the spirit,
we love that part.
I mean, it's amazing to see. You know, having a daughter and everything else like that, man. You know, to have these role models to see women able to come together and have a great time. But Radio Therapy has been able to go out there for the last couple of years. I actually was a guest of another station. Power Play Radio, actually. My friend Donald Willis, man, he took us down there and showed us, you know, the way, it gave us the opportunity, and we were grateful for that. Second year, I was able to go down there under my own name, which was a blessing. Yeah. So Essence is crazy. And then, like you mentioned, Las Vegas, the Stellar Awards. That's coming up in February. We'll be back out in Vegas for that too. So Radio Therapy is trying to be everywhere you are. So
wow. The name Radio Therapy, how you come up with that name?
Actually, man, it's funny. You ain't ready to start a business. You get ready to start some type of venture. You usually kind of think of what name can I put with it that will, one, start a conversation, two, have people thinking, and be curious about what it is. And so I just got to thinking one day, I was like, radio this, radio that, radio. What am I call my show? And so I got to thinking about the essence of radio. Radio is kind of like the barbershop.
Okay.
Everybody in the hood knows the barbershop is a place where you go.
Talk of a town. Everybody know your business. And some folks come to the barbershop be lying all the time.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, that happens on radio too. But you know the thing is, man, I started thinking about what the essence of radio was, and you start saying, you know, it was a form of therapy, music, laughter, information. So you went there to find out what was going on, and so I started thinking, like, wait a minute, how can I incorporate, you know, the therapy? A lot of people think, you know, some type of doctor. I said, well, what I like to call myself is the ghetto sociologist.
God, did y'all hear what he said? Ghetto.
Well, I tell you why I call him.
Didn't say hood. It said ghetto.
Ghetto sociologist. You gotta think about it, man. You know, I'm street taught.
Okay.
When I was in college, sociology was my favorite subject.
Okay.
It's the study of watching people.
Okay.
I mean, you know, many times we go places and we people watch. Well, not only do I people watch, I started trying to figure out patterns. And I've done this for years. Why do they do this? Why do they do that? And so even when I speak with someone, a lot of people want to know what you think. I want to know why you think it.
All right.
But so a lot of times what happens is we get so caught up into what each other think. So now we sit here having an argument, a conversation back and forth. But just see if I stop and figure out why you think it. Well, you might have thought because you didn't have your mom, you didn't have your dad, you came up in this side of town, you experienced this economically, you didn't experience that. Well, now I know why you think it, so now we can get a better understanding.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I am, man. And so that's how the name kind of came about. It was just saying, what is radio?
Right.
And why do I want to be in radio? And I figure through laughter, through education, through just giving somebody their favorite song, somehow, some way, if I can provide that sense of therapy to them while they listen to the show, man, then I feel I've done my job.
Cool. You know, also I have to thank you and Lady Z giving the opportunity. Also, I had an opportunity to co-host a radio show with Dr. Carl Robinson
Exactly.
on LA Talk Radio. And with that experience, it helped out a whole lot. You know, even though I was like the co-pilot, kind of felt like Lady Z, you know, and Dr. Robinson was you and you Dr. Robinson. So, but I do remember Dr. Robinson calling in.
Yeah.
Okay. And he invited me to one of his nonprofit organizations, Domestic Violence. That's how we met. And then the door opened for me. But I still have to give you and Radio 30 all the credit because my voice was heard.
Well, you know, I appreciate that, and you know what, and I think if the more that we do that help promote another person. See, there's and I hope I'm not spilling out of the bag about one of your other guests, but Ed Gray.
Ed Gray, I gave 232.
I gave him the start at radio.
Right.
So you know, so to hear people saying that, you know, I came on your show, you encouraged me and you gave me the opportunity to actually get out there, you know, and so there's a couple other radio shows going on other networks here in Dallas that started with me. And I'm not saying that to give myself some kudos. I'm happy that somebody was able to find their passion or give them an outlet because they came on and I gave them some time.
And that's who you are. You can't help it. It's in your heart. You enjoy doing radio, and I tell people all the time, if it's not in you, it's not for you.
No.
And it's in you. You know, that gift is ordained by God, created by God, and it's for you. You got that voice. I wish I had a radio voice like him. You know, but
hey, we tell you what, that comes from years of trying to move the ladies.
Oh,
so
that
comes from a lot of years of
who that?
Junior high. Wait a minute, and you know a whole bunch of times, junior high and high school. How old are you? Now all of a sudden I had to take some deep.
Oh, yeah, that deep boy. He knew you was a school teacher. Like,
how old are you?
Grown man in that classroom.
16. I don't believe you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's just amazing to be able to see people that say that. Look, man, I gave you a start, and I had one young lady came on the show. She's an author. She came on the show, and she said that she was so nervous. She had never done it before. She didn't know what to do. And I said, listen, this is going to be the easiest thing you do all day. I promise you. Well, she wrote a second book. We had her back on. She was like night and day. And she told me, she said, you know, I'd done other radio interviews, but nobody ever made me feel comfortable enough or gave me enough time for me to get comfortable. And then she ended up starting her own radio show. So when I see that, you know, I'm high-fiving people like, you know what, as many people as I feel that if that's a gift to be able to expose people to, you know, this side of media, whatever it is, I'm happy to be able to do it. I don't want anything in return, but for you to do a good job.
And that's why I invited you on the TV show, and not quite a joke. I said, no, well, I always interviewing everybody. You know what? I'm gonna step on this and be the first one to interview you on TV.
Man, you know what? I'll give you another tidbit. You're the first person to interview me. I'm always doing the interviewing, man. And so to sit on this side, to sit back, man, I'm trying to figure out. Usually I'm the one leaned over like you, so I'm trying to figure out the camera, but looking right.
Wow.
Am I relaxed or what's going on, man?
Wow, that's amazing. You know, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna go in deeper detail on radio therapy. Terrance J.
Walking into a fantastic clean office. Or coming home to a fantastic clean home. Hi, my name is LaMonica, CEO and founder of Fantastic Four Cleaning Services, providing fantastic services for you because that's what we aim to do. Give me a call at the office at 469-730-3054.
You want to hide it.
But you know, I'm sorry, but you know what else is that? See, I don't cut my husband off anymore. I just cut off other people.
I'm good. You got to go home with him.
No, what I was going to say, you got me riled up now.
You didn't even ask the question yet.
Let me just say this. It's okay?
Yes, fine.
Brother, can I say it? Okay.
Go ahead, please.
So I want to say that, putting the love on Front Street. I think the real thing that has happened is that we put the struggle on Front Street too. You know, like we're not experts. We're not perfect. We fuss and fight. He doesn't listen to me when the game is on. We discipline our children differently. I'm always late. I interrupt him. He doesn't hear me. He's gone deaf. He's fully hearing impaired now that we're married. Like, we are in it just like everybody else.
All right, welcome back to Behind Your Mic. Of course, special guest radio therapist Terrance J, and also a very close friend of mine, Brian Jones. That was a special moment. December 26, 2015, right here in Dallas, Texas, tornado storm. Trying to find out, I thought I have seen something or witnessed something that I never thought it could happen there for Christmas or wintertime. But I do have Brian. We're going to sit down and discuss what really happened. Brian, first I want to say thank you for inviting me to your event, giving me the opportunity to perform. Actually, it was technically on my birthday. Okay. 50th birthday, man. And but I couldn't help it when the storm took place, December 26th. I was coming home from work, actually driving into it, and hit Glen Heights in the community that I lived in. And I was ready to die. I was prepared to die. Okay, and what I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, if I die tonight, send me a death angel that I can recognize. Don't send me someone that can play with my mind like Satan do all the time. Yeah. And Terrance, you know me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The part is kind of funny. I've been put on some sweat, some Jordan, cologne. I said, okay, if I die, I make that transition. At least I'm going in with some Jordan and smelling good. Right. But I was prepared. Then when I saw you posted dad and son lost everything in a tornado, you know I hit you 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us what had happened. Tell us exactly what had happened.
Well, basically, like you say, the tornadoes came, and obviously it hit harder in some places than it did others. But I just got a phone call from our little sister, and she was saying that she was trapped. You know, you could tell she was just going, and I actually didn't believe her. I'm like, she probably being dramatic. You know, it's just bad weather. But long story short, I didn't take her serious, but I still prayed anyway. So as I'm racing to get to the house, the tornado had already went by. And it just so happened that my other sister had my son at the time. So as I'm racing, come to find out my sister was trapped in the rubber. And when I got there, I couldn't even find my apartment. That's how bad it was. That's how bad that it tore through the apartment complex where I was staying. And I asked the officer, I said, did everybody make it, everybody alive? He said, everybody's not alive. You just got to call for your people to see if they're alive. So as I'm running and I'm screaming her name, and you got some people bleeding, some people falling out, people calling for their loved ones, that was the scene that was created. And I just still remember, I would say probably after the 6th or 7th time that I called her name, she just said, yeah, you know, and it was just in that moment, I just couldn't do nothing but say, thank you, Jesus. But our house has been deemed unlivable and totally destroyed by the Red Cross of America. It's been deemed destroyed and unlivable by the Garland firefighters, but they were still able to go up there and get something that was living, and that was my sister. So for me, it's a different perspective. I did lose everything, so did my son. I take care of my son. He's 3 years old. All his Christmas gifts, the beds, the clothes, shoes, everything that you worked for and you would like
All
to
this
support.
happened day after Christmas.
Day after Christmas. And when I tell you, I still thank God, because we're sitting here talking about the day after Christmas that I lost everything. There's another step. There's people who lost everything, including their life. So what the Red Cross of America did was they categorized everybody. First, death. Second, your house is unlivable, destroyed. Can't live in it. Third, kind of messed up. Fourth, you know, so on and so forth. And I looked at that list and I'm like, wow, I was one step away. My sister was one step away. So yes, it's been pretty tough just trying to bounce back, losing everything, especially when you are a single parent and you are a father that's taking care of your son and you work so hard and you pride yourself on those moments. And then I'm also in ministry, so now I'm on the opposite side of ministry now. So yes, you absolutely, man, a very traumatic, devastating experience, but by the grace of God, I can stand and testify that He's still good, because my sister is still here and my son is still here. And I'll be honest, I don't respect the storm. I would have been twisted all up in the tornado. Cause
I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. Like I said, I was scared because I'm looking at it. But Terrance J, when you hear what I say and you hear what he's saying, what comes, because you live not far from me.
I'm right down the street, and looking at the forecast that night, I said it can either go either way. You know, if it makes a little turn to the left, it's coming my way. You know, to the right, and so I can't imagine the devastation of everything that goes on. You know, when it comes to it. But see, the thing is, I think what we're hearing here is what's most important is one thing you can't get back. That's life. You know, you say it was one step away. Sometimes you say just as close as you are, that means you're that far away. And so it's almost like we want to talk about gifts. Well, in the storm, he received a gift, the gift of life of his sister. Now, other people did not receive that gift, and so you know, it's just to see everything that happened from a day of coming together and celebrating Jesus' birthday and it's Christmas, and freezing for the season, and then to turn around and have that a tornado in December.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you and I know, I'm born here.
Yeah.
Tornado never. I can't remember a tornado come here during Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That's usually a summertime thing.
Exactly. You know, we're good for ice.
Yeah.
You know, snow. Well, I don't remember last time we had real snow. But that was a moment that I don't think nobody expected to happen. Being in it, I don't know what you were thinking, but I know what I was thinking. Like I said before, I'm making preparation. I'm going, you know, making transition to death. Okay, because I tell everybody you have to live to die, and you got to die to live.
Yeah.
The good news is when you die, you don't have to worry about dying no more.
It's
Okay.
actually a scripture in the Bible, it's in Galatians, that tell you to live for Christ and to die is gain.
Mhm.
So when you get at that place in your life where you're feeling like, you know, I don't want to check out of here, but I know that if I was to check out of here, because I've lived for Christ, I'm going to gain everything that I need. And that's kind of why, from that perspective, like you said, you're ready to transition. You went through what you went through. That's because there's been things that has happened in your life to say, I got myself together before I was able to get out of there. So in that same respect, the fact that you're still here, the fact that I'm still here, that means there's some type of purpose that God still has for you.
You're right, because it's funny how you said that, because when I said I put on my Jordan, my sweat, I was scared, man. I'm balled up, I had my eyes closed. If I said what I said to the Lord, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm balled up, I'm balled up, and then I heard that it's a loud whistle. And when this whistle so loud, it turned up stuff. And all I know, the power was shut down the whole town. And so when I opened my eyes, looked at my mom. You alive? I'm alive. No power. Okay, we still here. You know. So like you said, it wasn't my time.
Absolutely.
And then I really didn't know what was going on in Mesquite, Garland, all the metroplex cities, you know, in the area. But when I had an opportunity to see the news, I said, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering, going through that, when we talk about losing these material possessions, what do you do? What is the steps of starting to recover some of this to, you know, to get back some type of normalcy in your life?
Well, the first thing, which was the hardest thing for me, was to accept help. That was the hardest thing, because if you're used to being the one that's helping, you're used to being the one that's pouring into people. Sometimes it's hard to fall back and let people pour into you. And but now I can relate more to somebody. I was feeding the homeless before, but now I can say, hey, I used to be homeless. But not the homeless some people say where hey, they got evicted and 2 weeks later they was back into a new place. Oh, I was homeless, and that in that dramatic fashion.
Amazing.
No, this is a tornado.
Amazing.
So that really came and did that. So the first step is being able to receive, and I wouldn't do that at first, and then they ended up setting up a GoFundMe for me that I didn't want to do at first. But because I had done all of those different ministry things and planted all those seeds, people were able to just say, you know what, I know him, even though they never met me, but I know of him and what he's done. So that's the first step. The second step is standing still and asking the right people for the right advice. We were going to mamas and cousins and aunties and this and that, and everybody had their opinion on what to do. But it wasn't until I went to Red Cross, and shout out to Red Cross, phenomenal what they do. It wasn't until we went to the shelter, we went to Red Cross, we went to the people that does this. See, people think they already stationed and this and that. No, people are flying in from California, New York. Shout out to Carrie from Red Cross America. They flew her in, and they cut her a check. Your job is to go down there and make sure these people get everything they want and they need. So basically taking your pride in what you think you know and understand, if you've never been in this situation, you need to let it go and ask the right people.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got Terrance J. We got my man Brian Scott Jones. Also, your host, comedian from Douglas. When we come back, We're also going to bring back Lady Z on Radio Therapy, right here behind your mic.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident, I'm sure you're worried about medical bills, lost wages, and getting real compensation for your pain and suffering. But relax, I got you. I'm attorney Roderick White, and I've been fighting insurance companies since 2002. It's what I do, it's all I do. Never settle for less. Call us at 214 or 817, I got you. That's 214 or 817 446 8968.
Excited, I'm having a great time. Look at the scenery, beautiful women. You know, and that's how I like my women, nice and thick. I don't want no. When we make love, you hear blop, 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 blop. The only thing a skinny girl could do for me is show me where the big girl is at. Point her out and get out of my face. You can wear your bra backwards. Get out of here right now. I want some blop, blop, blop.
All right, we're back here on Behind Your Mic. And while we took a break, we also had the left hand, the right hand of Terrance J. Guess who's in the house? Lady Z.
Hi, everybody.
You gotta give it a proper introduction, man. This is the star.
Well, that's
radio.
your job. That's your job. Remember
The
on
star
show.
of radio.
Oh, okay, that's your job.
My name is just on the show. This is actually the star. You got a fan club and everything.
I do not have a fan club.
I have to thank you as well. Before you came on the show, I thank him for both you guys giving me the opportunity to be on the show twice.
Yes,
First time by
you're
myself,
faithful.
and then coming to Vineyard.
Yeah.
You know, and look where I'm at today.
I know, I'm so proud of you, Edwin.
Well,
God is awesome, isn't he?
Let me get your good side. Let me get your good side.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, get our ladies in.
Well, you know, before we went on a break, we were discussing the tornado victim here in Dallas, Texas,
that was so
day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Did you have any family members or anybody you know personally that was in the storm?
We did have some, our first lady of the church, her sister, and their husband actually lost everything, their home and their car. And, but just, you know, just overall, just the fact that, you know, that people were suffering and hurting like that. And it was really like close to our areas too, Terrance, it's really close to us. It was just, you know, God's grace that we were safe because people right there in Glen Heights and, you know, Rowlett and the Garland area and people losing their lives right there on the freeway. And Terrance can tell you, ladies, he's a big crybaby. I had to stop looking at Facebook because, you know, they were sharing everybody's stories and I'm just boo-hooing. I was like, okay, well, let me start praying and stop all this boo-hooing.
Well,
it's not going to help anything.
Well, you know, I have to also say that you two are a great team. I told you guys that, you know, we had met a couple of times. The combination of don't let nobody get between you two.
That's right.
If you do that, you will grow. Don't let nobody break the brand, become a distraction. And look at you guys. I said it earlier, Vegas, New Orleans. I said, damn, I ain't been yet.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. February 18th, we'll be out there. You might have to catch a ride on with us.
Mr. CEO, can you get me out there?
Got the tickets already.
Okay.
It's some Stellar Awards, man. They need you to open up the show.
Hey,
That's
you know
right.
what? Not a bad idea. I'm gonna talk to Dads and Fathers TV network. Get me out there.
Hey, there you go.
Terrance, how do we close the show out every week?
God has everything you want.
All you have to do is ask. And that has come to fruition. Terrance will actually tell me something that he wants to do, a goal for the year. We speak it, we touch and agree, and so far everything has come to fruition. Remember when you told me about Essence? And I said, okay, well, Terrance, I'm gonna step out on faith. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and take the time off work. I said, we're going to Essence this year.
Wow.
And
when she told me that, I said, well, if she gonna believe it, I went into the office at work, took the time off. 3 months before we even got the invite.
yeah.
Brian over here, he's in the ministry. When you hear these two say step out on faith, what comes to your mind?
Basically, faith without works is dead.
That's right.
You know, you saying you stepping out on faith is one thing, but putting in the work is a whole nother ball game that comes along with it. So a lot of times you have people, and it's something I say, you know, sometimes you don't need to, you know, wait for your ship to come in. Sometimes you need to swim to it.
I like that.
And in that case, and we can have all the faith in the world, but in ministry or in Christ and growth, where's the action part? Where's the work that you're putting in to get to that point where your faith can actually manifest? So then you can give the testimony of faith. But right now, we just say, hey, I got faith I'm gonna be a millionaire, but you sleeping all day. I got faith that I'm gonna get a new car, but you're not willing to work to cover that insurance or that car payment that's gonna come with that new car. So there are things that are literally, people don't have because they just have faith. And they're like, well, I thought if you have faith, you have everything. Well, that's why when you read the Word of God, you have to read it for yourself. You can go to all the churches, you can read all the Googles, you can do all of that. But sometimes you need to pray and read the Word of God for yourself. And then you can say, wait a minute, so every time they offer me overtime, I turn it down because I feel like I'm going to miss the empire, I'm going to miss my show.
Right.
And then with that faith without...
No, I got to go watch Empire. I ain't much of that.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, wait a minute, God, I prayed for me to have the extra blessing. And then a lot of that also comes into planting seeds and your tithes and your offerings. It's a lot of that. But when you're giving tithes and offerings, that's also a part of action. So I always would challenge people to say, what action do you have as a Christian? What's your action? What are you doing?
You know,
I'm paying my tithe right now.
but even to piggyback off that, man, one of the things is kind of go along with what I tell people. You discover why you broke.
Exactly.
See, why you're broke, you got a lot of time. So where's your discovery? What are you doing? And so if you haven't went out and started to figure out what you're going to do when this come in, well, you know what you're doing right at that moment. You are looking at possibilities and opportunities that your minds can expound to. But you hadn't, well, I don't have the money for this, so I'm not going to research this. I'm not going to figure out what to do when I got. And so, I had this big conversation with a friend of mine. I said, well, obviously you didn't believe that you were going to get this money you just got. I said, because when it came in, the very thing you told me you needed, you don't even know how much it costs. And I said, so why did you know how much it costs, where to go get it, and how to go get it? I said, but what you were looking at was your own pockets. You weren't looking at the blessing that now you have the exact money to go get what you want. So you got to have those actions. You got to be able to put it into work.
And then there is a line between wishing and hoping and faith. A lot of people are hoping God is going to do things. Faith means you're going on when everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. Talking about she losing her mind, she knows she doesn't do this, do that. That's where the faith comes in, even when it makes you, when man can't understand. Like he was saying, without the work, it's dead. And sometimes God just wants to see if you're going to move with him.
Or when they tell you when you start your own network that it's going to fail. My bad. I didn't mean. Did I start that on your show? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that on.
But can I tell you something? It's like, this is my best friend. I love him dearly. And I've always supported him. But when he told me that was all the confirmation. I told him, I said, baby, you gotta hold on to your head. I said, because it's finna be on. I said, because that's what you need. That's confirmation. Satan's gonna always try to send things to try to discourage you. And honestly, Terrance, tell you, we laughed about it. I told him, I said, are you ready? I said, because everything you've been asking for is about to get started.
And it's funny, both of you guys talking about this because I told him earlier I met you guys through Darcel.
Yes.
It was actually supposed to be for him.
Right.
But I found out that God used him to bring me in.
Yeah. Okay.
And then with attitudes and negativities and being bitter, I don't let that get in my spirit.
Right.
And so I kept my eyes on y'all. Look at them. They took my advice. Even though they doing it, I said, okay. If I'm telling them that, then let me tell myself what I need to do, and if it's working for them, it can work for me. And so I stay behind you guys, keep it up, happy birthday, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all that.
Can I blow your mind for a second? And I love to do this. You knew Darcel in high school for today.
Of course. But going back to what he's saying, that everybody's saying, faith,
yeah,
okay, belief. All that's a part of it. gotta believe it. You know, okay? But I believe in you guys. That's why I took the time out to share the information with you guys.
And you know what, that really, I was really honored by that because, as I said, the crabs in the barrel mentality, just for you to, because Terrance and I were just doing something that's truly a passion of his, and mine is just a labor of love because I'm excited about my friend living out his passion. He brought me along because he was trying to help me with my passion. But the fact that you cared enough to pour into us, and we took everything you told us to heart.
But I was just being obedient.
Exactly.
And because I said the force, the team, I said don't let nobody come between you guys, and y'all got it. Everything's gonna come.
This team almost did come to pass. I'll just let you know. Let me tell you what happened.
Moi?
I'll tell you, I'm in my blessed spirit. I get the opportunity, I'm going to start a radio show. And I had somebody in mind. I'm not going to call anybody name. I'm on the phone calling 2 and 3 days. Now, usually never have this much trouble getting in contact. All because I'm not concentrating on me starting a show. I'm concentrating that my best friend said that she wanted to do voiceovers. I'm more happy that I'm going to be able to provide a platform, like I told you earlier, for her to do that. She doesn't answer the phone. I had to call and use the whole full name. Then I got a return phone call. So that's how I came about. Because I'm going to tell you what, I said, look, when you're trying to be able to bless somebody, they won't even answer the phone. But I'm glad.
But you know what? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful network. You know, I like the name. People who support you guys. Y'all met new friends away, New Orleans, Vegas. Now you can pick up the phone and call them to come in now. See what God brought you from here to here. Now, the person that you guys allowed to be interviewed, God told me to call you guys because y'all wasn't doing it for me. You know, because if your voice not being heard, it's gonna take a long time for your work to be seen.
Exactly.
Okay, everything begins with the voice, and then the work will play itself. And so I have to give it back to you guys, you know.
Well, we appreciate it.
We
do. And I don't even know, and I remember the day you came over to the show, to me, it's just what we do. Hey, you're a comedian, let's talk. You're gonna be a part of that show we were gonna host. So let's do it.
Yeah.
And so, and even for you to even mention to us, like, hey man, I appreciate it because I was just coming in here to support. And I said, listen, this platform, we always hear about you can't get love at home, especially in the Dallas area. So I tell you what, radio therapy is going to provide that platform. Now, if you don't contact us, because we're extending the offer, you don't contact us, then that's on you. But you can't say nobody in your hometown didn't give you love. And as you can see from yourself, guess what? We saw you had something going on. We wanted to make sure we partnered with you to help push that out.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more to Lady Z, Terrance J, and also Brian, right here on Behind the Mic.
Have you ever had a question related to child support, divorce, CPS? Call the Attorney General or maybe an attorney and they just gave you a runaround? Where do you go to get help? Contact Dads Fathers of Texas. Yes, they are child support specialists. Dads Fathers of Texas can answer your question, help file paperwork, and help find a family law attorney. Dads Fathers of Texas, making child support simple.
All right, we're back here on Behind Your Mic with Brian Scar, the poet Jones, also Lady Z, co-host of Radio Therapy, and the one and only Terrance J.
That's a heck of an intro.
I
thought I was somebody, man.
So who is that? Who is Terrance J?
I'm gonna ask each one of y'all, where you see yourself 5 years from now? What God called him to do, Brian.
I'm actually the founder of God's Talent Ministry, and what we are is a Christian-based organization that put on different gospel events to not only spread the gospel, but help the sick and less fortunate. And that's what GTM, the God, the Talent, the Ministry. And it comes from 1 Peter 4:10, use your gifts and talents to serve others. So in my purpose, where I see is basically having that on a whole nother level, basically global. I had the opportunity to go to do the Potter's House with TD Jakes on New Year's Eve.
And you were the.
Yeah, I was the speaker at the poet for the night,
And you came in what?
I came in from being one of the tornado victims, but also came in with my gift to praise God, because God, the Bible tells you your gift will make room for you. And to get that call was amazing, because you always, I don't know about nobody else, but I grew up listening to T.D. Jakes. And I remember saying, man, maybe I'll get to meet him. I wonder how does that feel to be in front of millions and millions of people, thousands and thousands of people, and to get that call on their biggest night, which is New Year's Eve, to be in front of those people. God really gave me a glimpse. He said, look, you see, I can put you, I took that tornado and used that tornado to open up some doors for you. You had to walk through it. Faith without works is dead. You had to walk through it. But now I want to show people, so God gets all the glory, because I had lost everything those 3 days prior. But here I am saying, and when he said, now imagine if you still go praise and worship after you've lost everything. So when I look at that perspective 5 years from now, I believe that he's preparing me for something.
That's it, boy. That's
he's preparing me for something very great. There are things that are happening in my life that are unexplained, but he deals with the impossible anyway.
Wow.
So I'm just real grateful. So in 5 years, I definitely see where GTN will be something that's all over the country. We're actually in 3 different states right now.
Okay. And those states are?
Florida, Michigan, and Texas. Texas is the home base. I live here now. And then we just have different artists and stuff like that. But like I was explaining earlier, being on this side of ministry now it's been different, but it's actually preparing me, because now I can relate a lot more. I've already have a crazy testimony within itself.
That's what it's all
so
about.
So to add a tornado to that, it's like, okay, God, all right, enough of that. I got
just another chapter.
Yeah, we can go and do that. So in short, 5 years from now, just God's talent ministry really living by what it stands for, because there's so many people that wants to take the word ministry and attach it to their name, and then when you ask them, what are you doing? Action. They can't give you an answer.
Wow.
They're like, I go to church. We're not talking about that. What is your ministry doing?
Wow.
So that's why we try not to be in a box where we want to tackle everything from sexual molestation to AIDS and HIV to homelessness. So I didn't want to put us in a box. So
wow. Lady Z,
5 years from now, definitely still be working with this young man right here 5 years from now. He'll probably be the owner of a couple of networks by then. I'm believing the radiotherapy will be satellite, we will be global, we will be worldwide, with the progression of technology into people's automobiles and everything. I'm seeing Terrance now on digital billboards, and you can just select radiotherapy in your car. I see me doing that full time, and then also still being immersed in my ministry at my church, working with the children, working side by side with our church, because it is growing in leaps and bounds. I'm really believing God that in 5 years, Terrance and our full-time job will be the radiotherapy network and its enterprises. That's what I'm believing God for in 5 years.
Now I got to get her on this, because last time I was on y'all show, first time, we were talking about relationships, but I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
That'd be another show, okay?
Yeah.
And I kept looking at her fingers, and I thought, okay.
My practice ring.
But the bodyguard is right here. They ain't gonna let it gotta come through here. Terrance J, 5 years from now.
Listen, man, I got to. Cause me and you, we like that, man. Now, you're gonna put a radio host on the show to speak out to a minister. And this is not a 24-hour show.
Right.
We ain't got an infinite amount of time.
Right.
And I see how you did it too. You made sure that a minister's on the show to tone me down. I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you. But you know what? I tell you what.
Want to do it?
5 years from now, I'll often sit back and think about that and try to figure out, okay, what do you want to be doing? What type of impact do you want to leave? And so with the Radiotherapy Network, I mean, even branching off into Radiotherapy TV and having another network or two under the belt that gives other people opportunity to start their passion. is really what I'm looking forward to, and that's business wise. And so, as far as the impact that it brings up, you know what? I can't wait until I am the person who writes the checks and provide a living for other people. One of the things that I pay attention to every once in a while when in church. One of the things that I like
Every once in a while. When you're not.
I'm not gonna lie because y'all got a minister here.
Hey, when you're not paying attention, what you doing?
No, but I mean, these phones are something else. But seriously, the thing is that when you have an understanding that this thing is bigger than you, and so one of the things that I learned in church was from our pastor was that there are people waiting on you to do what you do in order to do what they need to do. And so now what they need to do is not going to be stopped because you don't do it, but you got to pay that price that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So I can't wait to the point to where I am the person that God is using me to be the person that can provide livelihood for people, because guess what? There are video editors, there are radio editors, producers, engineers that are in school or that had a passion for it, that's waiting on me to branch this thing out, to be able to get a job where they leave their job and still start working in their passion. So if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm in the way of stopping them from doing what they're supposed to do. So I can't wait till I'm in that position. And then with so much corporate greed that we see, and then you hear stories like one guy gives his employees $100,000 Christmas bonus, and you see the undercover bosses where they say, you know what, you have some trials and I want to help pay for your school. I want, to be able to do that, to show an example of how you do. One thing I've been preaching with people is how do you have, corporate economics? How do you allow everybody to be able to share in some of this? It's no good to sit on top of the hill and you got a gun trying to pick off everybody come up the hill because you're scared they come there for what you have. But how about you build everybody up, and then you have this opportunity? So 5 years from now, man, I just, when you see radiotherapy, I want you to know that when you hear about these companies that are some of the best to work for, I would love to be on that list.
Exactly.
Wow.
Legacy building.
Wow. That's amazing. And I listen to you guys every time y'all on, and then I'm sure y'all see my name popped up. Dude, ever go to sleep now because I'm trying to get it. It takes that much work to get where you're trying to go, because it's free. Facebook, social media is free, so I take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to understand that I'm going to continue to support you guys. Here, Gray, everybody who's trying to make it one, because I'm a marketing guy. I don't keep secret. If I see somebody who's trying to make it, trying to turn things to the next level, trying to bless the community, trying to change the game, I'm there for you. And that's what I do. And I tell everybody I am the promoter of the Black Some Business.
Yeah.
And you heard me say that on the radio, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
Brian, tell us what you got coming up and how can they reach you?
You can Instagram is @ScarsThePoet, or you can send a text message to 214-524-4929. Then Facebook, Brian Scars Jones. Right now we're in the works, obviously with the tornado happening. We as a team collectively decided to just run the GoFundMe for me and my son, which is gofundme.com/tornadogarland.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to donate towards that cause. So we're going to bounce back in February, and we're looking to do something for the Wounded Warriors project. We're looking for the people that went out. We choose different months and different subjects. So we'll never do a breast cancer event in October. We'll never do autism in April. So we try to go beyond that. So we're looking to do Wounded Warriors, and then after that, we're actually looking to do something for people who have been molested.
Wow.
So that's going to be a pretty big one right there.
Okay. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Tell them how they can reach you, where they can hear their voice, you and Lady Z, and what y'all got coming up.
Well, Once again, I am Terrance J, host of Radio Therapy with Terrance J with my co-host.
Lady Z.
If you want to follow us, the whole show, you can go to radiotherapyshow.com. You can watch us each and every Friday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on another website called blab.im. We broadcast not only on the radio, but we broadcast live, so you can watch this show. It's a whole nother experience to be able to watch the foolishness that pursues on our show each and every week. I'm telling you, I had to tone it down because, you know, my man, listen, you know what you were doing. And so you heard the show before. No, but honestly, you know what? We
had so much fun.
We are out there. You can go to tune in if you're on the go. You pull up your phone, tune in, Radio Therapy Network.
Add us to your favorites.
Best add us to your favorites. Please do that. Follow us on social media. I am the real Terrance J, spelled Terrance, and Lady Z.
And you can follow me at Lady Z Mitchell on all social media platforms, and on Facebook, just type in Lady Z and this face will pop up.
All right, you heard him. You heard him. I'm comedian Edwin Douglas. Thank you for tuning in on Behind Your Mic with our special guest, Terrance J, and co-host Lady Z, and also blind, scarred, the poet, Jonah. Until next time, peace, and may God bless you.
Have you ever had a question related to child support, divorce, CPS? Call the Attorney General or maybe an attorney and they just gave you a runaround? Where do you go to get help? Contact Dads Fathers of Texas. Yes, they are child support specialists. Dads Fathers of Texas can answer your question, help file paperwork, and help find a family law attorney. Dads Fathers of Texas, making child support simple.